And I'm going to welcome everybody to One Heart, One Mind Center for Spiritual Living. And I'm going to start some music for us this morning to kick us off. This isn't this is just audio. So I'm just going to share the sound for this.
Well, don't make a mistake because we don't want to see you.
That's right. Okay. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Oops, sorry.
Now my hands do your work, and now my lips speak your truth, and now my life is the image of your love, Spirit in me. Now my voice sings your song. Now my heart is at peace. Now my soul is the laughter of a child. Spirit in me. Of your love, Spirit in me. Now my voice sings your song. Now my heart is at peace, and now my soul is the laughter of a child. Spirit in me. And so my hands do your work, and now my lips speak your truth. Now my life is the image of your love, Spirit in me. Spirit in me.
Spirit in me. Thought that would be a nice way to kick off our Sunday service. That was Michael Gott, if any of you didn't know. And so I am going to just invite Rob to kick us off with an opening prayer.
All right, let's set the tone to this thing. Which is easy to do because it's all about God, because that's all there is. That is all there is, and it's good, and it feels good, and this is destined to be a good service. This is going to be a good experience for all here. I am so grateful for the universal good that is God, that we can feel, that we know, that we can intuit, that we can experience right now just for the heck of it. Because it's here, it's all around us, and it is obvious. It is so obvious that we are living in good, that we were living in joy and love and peace and all the blessings that are here for us. I am so grateful for what is about to unfold here. I know that good things will be said. I know that good things will be heard. I know that good things will be intuited by each and every one of us that will benefit their own lives. They will come away from this experience better and more able to experience and celebrate the joy. Thank you, God, that this is so in our experience right now. I am so grateful. I release my word. And if anybody cares to, we may say, and so it is.
So it is.
And I'm guessing that Michelle has the monthly affirmation.
I too, I'm sorry, I got away from me here. Let's get it. There we go. There we go.
And voila, May's affirmation, if you care to join me, is my word is a word of power. A word of power. For I know that it is the great God within me. My word shall accomplish and prosper and shall do good unto all who call upon my name. My word is a tower of strength and cannot be denied. It is complete and perfect and here and it's complete and perfect here and now. My word is the word of God. And that's by our founder, Ernest Holmes. And it's real possible that Michelle may have another piece of music for us.
I do. This is a good one too. I'll get this together for us. Here we go. This one has video. I like this one. Here we go.
Do you remember you are love at the heart of your being? Do you remember there is more to this life than what you're seeing? Let me remind you, you are beautiful by far. You've nothing left to prove when you remember who you are. If you ever forget, I will help you remember who you are and who you're here to be. Sometimes it's hard to make a way through the dark, but I will see for you and help you remember who you are. Do you remember there is peace in the middle of this storm? Do you remember you have all you need inside to keep you warm? Let me remind you, you're the dust from a star. Your essence is revealed when you remember who you are. If you ever forget, I will help you remember who you are and who you're here to be. Sometimes it's hard to make a way through the dark, but I will see for you and help you remember. You are stronger than you think you are, braver than you seem. The light that lies ahead of you is like nothing you have ever seen. If you ever forget, I will help you remember who you are and who you're here to be. Sometimes it's hard to make a way through the dark, but I will see for you and help you remember. If you ever forget, I will help you remember who you are and who you're here to be. Sometimes it's hard to make a way through the dark, but I will see for you and help you remember. Remember who you are. Remember who you are.
Well, that gotta make you smile, right? Lovely faces. My dear friends, Ralane, Clarke, and Lissa Lazaro and Rob McGregor, our fabulous practitioners, have agreed to step in for me since I'm not feeling a little under the weather today. So I'm going to, we're going to start off with Ralane. And so I'm just going to invite you to help me welcome Ralane and Lissa and Rob.
Welcome, everyone. So the topic for today, at least as far as how I understand it, is the power of living a vision of the truth of ourselves, creating space for that and creating a space for all others in the world to do the same, creating a space beyond words into action. And that's what I'm going to be speaking to a little bit today. When I was a little girl, about 6 or 7, I got a goldfish and I named her Becky, and she was beautiful. And I love Becky very much. Becky grew to be about 12 inches long and she was really, quite a special goldfish to me. Somewhere along the time, at some point, if I'd had Becky for quite a while, my sister brought home a goldfish and put him in the same aquarium as Becky. But unfortunately, the goldfish was sick and he died pretty much shortly after that. And sadly, Becky got sick and died too. So we buried Becky in the backyard, and I felt we had a little ceremony, and it was really a first time for really understanding the life and death of our pets. So fast forward today, and right now in this moment, we're having an issue with goldfish in our environment. So that's why I bring up Becky. And I want to just back up just a tiny bit. There's a really good book that I recommend for everyone to read. It's called The Death and the Life of the Great Lakes. And it's really a historical book on how biologists, fish biologists and biologists that understand lakes try to help our Great Lakes survive over time. Unfortunately, through our intervention, sometimes meaning well and sometimes just not knowing, we have interfered with the ecosystem of the Great Lakes. And at times it appeared the Great Lakes weren't going to survive. However, through a lot of interventions and a lot of work from the fish biologists and others, the Great Lakes are doing better. But yet it's a constant struggle. And so what the fish biologists do is they make sure that the fish that are in the lakes are native to the Great Lakes, because they're the ones that actually understand and balance the ecosystems. But non-native fish come in because people bring them in for different reasons. They want to fish with different fish in the lake, causes a havoc in the ecosystem and throws everything out of whack. So what's happening is that, the river biologists are separating out the fish that don't belong in there and find other places for them in other waterways and keep the native fish in there in the Great Lakes. But people and children, adults and children, are putting their goldfish into the Great Lakes to give them freedom. And, they want them to have a good life, and they've had the goldfish for a while. And so then they're just ready to let them go free. And unfortunately, this plays a tremendous havoc with the Great Lakes to the point where it may not survive again. So the goldfish, just as a way of being, are on the ground, ground dwellers in the lake floor, and they take in all the contaminants that are in the lake that settle there by eating the things that are down there, the contaminants and pesticides that have settled. So they're carriers of these contaminants. And then secondly, they muddy the waters so that the plants aren't growing. Now, they're not doing this in any reason. They're just being goldfish, but that's what happens. And so now there's no plants for the fish. And they also grow very big. People don't realize it. But when they're in a different environment with the Great Lakes, they become massive. And so they're competitive with the other fish. The other thing I think that most people don't realize is that goldfish, if they're healthy, live 30 to 40 years. And so they have long lifespans. Now, unfortunately, the fish biologists can't take the goldfish out like they do the other fish that are non-native and put them somewhere because they're contaminated. They have these pesticides and contaminants, so they're not able to put them somewhere else. It's just like moving the problem somewhere else. So it's a real dilemma, what to do with the goldfish. So that leads to the next part of this story, which is Erie, Pennsylvania, which is a port city of Lake Erie. And there's a zoo there. And they've decided to move from educating people. They've talked a lot with children and adults who come to the zoo and tell them about, it's not a good idea to put goldfish in the Great Lakes, and the Great Lakes are really suffering because of that. So they moved from talking about it in words to action. They've created last year in 2023, the Last Lagoon. And it's the Last Lagoon is a 23,000 gallon tank. And it's for the goldfish that people love, but aren't able to keep for 30 to 40 years. And so it's a place that they can call home. So that leads me to a woman, and her name is Neely Irwin. And she got a goldfish. She's an adult woman, and she got a goldfish at a carnival. And she named her goldfish, Pumpkin Bob. And Pumpkin Bob got very big. And he was living in a 1 gallon tank. And so she found out that they live 30 to 40 years. She got really worried because she's an older woman anyway. And then she was also feeling like he's not having much of a life. She really loves Pumpkin Bob. So she asked so many different agencies and all for support to find a home for Pumpkin Bob, but everyone said no, except for the Last Lagoon in the zoo in Erie, Pennsylvania. And they took in Pumpkin Bob. And so Neely Irwin's answer to that was, I am very, very grateful that I could put him there. And now I can visit him regularly. And so this is a wonderful way of moving from words to action. And it doesn't solve the Great Lakes problem necessarily, but Pumpkin Bob lives with 50 other tank mates, and he's very happy from going from a 1 gallon tank to a 23,000 gallon tank. And he didn't have to go into the Great Lakes where that creates other issues. So the last place lagoon is a moving story about how we can move toward understanding our interconnection with the world, with our waterways, with our planet, and how important it is that we all work together to help each other to create a healthier environment for the world. So what I was wanting us to do with this story is to hold a vision. I know we all have our individual visions of what we want in life, but yet I think it's very important to include our planet Earth, our waterways, our oceans, all our ecosystems, because we're so interconnected. We want to be able to know that we can thrive, but every living species in this world can thrive as well with us together, And so what I hold is that, these wonderful people who sort out the fish every day to make sure the Great Lakes are continuing to be healthy, and the last lagoon zoo for creating this wonderful place. And we need more of those places for people to put their goldfish. Educating children to maybe not get goldfish as a pet because it's not an appropriate pet. But most importantly, I think we need to all work together to feel the healing of our planet and our Earth. And I really am so grateful for Pumpkin Bob because I think he leads the way. All right. And so it is.
Oh, that's great. What a great story. I want to be thinking about Pumpkin Bob. Thanks, Ralane. Lissa. Oh, sweetheart, you're on mute, or you're muted. There you go.
Well, and I know that the specific topic for today is the power of vision. And the overriding label for the month was from good to great to grand. And it's like my rebel mind took that on and did not like it because it has a judgmental feeling to me. And it's like I feel that everybody's vision is equally valuable. That, in other words, the person who decides that her vision is I'm going to be the best parent I can be is that vision is just as powerful as somebody who changes the world. And so I kind of came from that point. And then during this month, mainly because I feel like anybody who feels that they are taking on spirit by virtue of how they're going to live their life and what's going to be important to them, I think that it has great value. So, excuse me, I'm having issues. But so it's like you have the big visions that everybody knows about. It's like I was thinking in terms of freedom, like like Gandhi, and in terms of freeing his people and creating a model that other people could use. That this is the power of a big vision, but it doesn't mean that it's any less valuable to spirit than the individual's vision. And then there's Martin Luther King, who took the same thing on in terms of freedom for his people, so to speak, and thereby all of us in terms of that. And then the founders of our nation, despite whatever foibles they had a vision that created something that was brand new and powerful. But and so I just think that the whole thing about vision is being guided by your inner knowing, by the inner spirit that just somehow makes you say yes inside, that's I'm supposed to do that, or I'm supposed to be that. And that's just really valuable, and that everything else grows from that. And so at any rate, I had some examples this week that were really interesting to me in terms of living the vision. What did I do here? Somehow mixed up the card. I think the first one that I wanted to speak of was Henry Red Cloud. He is the 5th generation of Red Cloud, who was a great warrior and chief of the Lakota. And he was the Native American who led his tribe to be the only group that has ever defeated the U.S. Army on its own ground. And he preceded what Crazy Horse and Sitting Bull did subsequently, and he did not participate in that because by that time he was looking at the realities and feeling that they needed to work for peace. And he did many things, and the betrayal of the Lakotas is incredible in terms of in 1868 they were told that they would have the Black Hills and something else in perpetuity would belong to them, to the Native Americans, and that no white man could enter unless they gave permission. Well, as soon as gold hit, that went out the window. But in the meantime, he spent his time on the peaceful side in terms of trying to help his people accommodate to the new way of life that they had to deal with. And so at any rate, his son, Henry, who is the fifth generation, and Henry's son, whose name I don't know, who's sixth generation, created this company, Red Cloud Renewables. And it's an energy company that is doing renewable energy and is growing in terms of, because in addition to doing renewable energy in the what is the res I can't remember the name of the reservation, but anyway, in addition to doing that, it's like they've got 1,200 solar homes, solar stuff in the homes of Native Americans, and that's kind of like where they're beginning. But they also have a lodge where they bring other tribal people in from other places in terms of teaching them how to do it, and they do solar, but they also do that making blocks out of dirt or what have you. At any rate, it's a total renewable energy project that has received a lot of acclaim for doing that. And I just kept thinking that Native Americans always talk about the seventh generation, that they do things for the seventh generation. And I think about that will be his grandson. And it's just interesting to think about that carrying on of the Native American tradition of caring for the earth as well as the people. And at any rate, I had been interested in Red Cloud before, and then when I heard about Henry, I was just really impressed in terms of a particular kind of vision carrying on, because it's like a whole vision of take care of our people and the earth. And so I thought that was great. So that was one. And then the second person I would like to mention is someone who is actually almost a neighbor and of all of us. Her name is Susie Ryan, and she's been a teacher for most of her life. And she'd been an English teacher, but also in part because of her own life experience, has been the kind of teacher who is really, her vision is to bring forth the natural gifts of each and every student and to make them feel important, to make them know their own value. And so at any rate, at the Carlsbad Seaside School, she became responsible for seventh and eighth grade in English. It's a smallish school. And so she decided to assist the kids in creating their own book. And so she had them encourage them to write stories. And, and there was just like, there was one kid who hardly ever says a word in class, but the story she wrote was about pirates. And so when she read it aloud, it was just quite transformation from what had been before. So anyway, she worked with these kids who said, how can we do a book? And assisted them, and they had them looking on YouTube for answers to, how you do this, how do you do that part, and so forth and so on. And so I think it was in April the book came out, and it's on Amazon and our local bookshop, Barnes and Noble. And it is, one of the students did the artwork for it, but and what they decided was they would do the project, and then any money that they made would go to the homeless in Carlsbad. And so there was a thing on the news in relation to when they actually went to, they have on one day a week, there's a time when there's a group that feeds the homeless. And so the kids went on one day to be there, and that was just another expression of something that was very valuable to them. Because I heard Susie speak. She happens to be a member of the sorority alumni club that I belong to. But it's interesting to me because, as another thing in terms of vision, that the particular sorority I belong to, Pi Beta Phi, literacy is one of the major values. And so it's just kind of like seeing all the things that come together to help a person create their vision and then to carry it forward. And then the third vision was a little closer to home even yet, which was my grandnephew. And the reason I bring it up is because last night we had a celebration of his father's birthday, and his father passed away in 2020. And it's been like Larry's vision to continue the legacy of his father. Because his father was a very compassionate, kind, funny man, and was kind of like the leader of his groups of friends, and was always there for his friends and their kids. And I think he once facilitated getting an artificial leg for one kid. And I mean, he was just one of those people, who was compassionate and doing good. And his son is much the same. His son, like in middle school, stood up and defended a fellow student who was being bullied. And, he's just been that way too. But this was, I don't know, it's just touched me a lot, because when his father died, he was the one who kind of spearheaded a program that got a bench at the Scripps Research Institute. That's like a bench that looks over a golf course to the ocean, which were things that my nephew loved. And then he also organized a run in honor of his father. And so it's like this sense, his sense of both compassion and family, it was just amazing. And this party was that he held was basically our family, and then his father's friends and their kids. And so it was, I'm sorry, a little emotional, but it was just, to me, it was like another kind of vision, and a part of who he is and how his life works. And so at any rate, I'm sure each of you have people that who have had some kind of a vision which motivated them and carried them forward and created something in the people who were around them that was of great value. And so in relation to vision, there's always also, Michael Beckwith's program, his visioning program, and essentially you can pull the questions from that. I mean, normally you get into a group and you meditate and deal with the questions, but I think people could ask the questions. You can ask questions yourself in terms of, and allow spirit to answer. And that, like, what is the highest vision for my life, or for a particular project? And what will I need to become to manifest that? And what must I release for this vision? And what talents or gifts do I possess that would help manifest this vision? And then once you have done this, you give it a sacred yes, because you've been talking to spirit, and to that inner spirit that knows the truth of what you're here to do. And then you express your gratitude, knowing that the vision is already beginning to manifest itself. So anyway, I feel as if all of us can deal with visions on various different levels and at various different times and for various different projects. And so knowing that what we do impacts the world in one way or another. It is, you never know when you're going to inspire someone with your vision. And so anyway, I was just thinking that it, that it's also a part of really fulfilling who you are and how you bring God to earth. And so at any rate, I just want to close with this one bottom line quote in the terms of the conclusion and call to action of the material that Red Michelle gave us, which was, together we can forge a path towards a world where everyone can unapologetically be themselves and contribute to a more vibrant, compassionate, and interconnected life. And so it is.
Wow. Oh, you guys are rocking it. Thank you for that. It's so funny because when I hear your different versions of or take on the power of vision, they're unique and interesting and inspiring. I so appreciate hearing it. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, Ralane, too. And Rob, you get to be next.
Yeah, I am next. It's interesting how we deal with vision separately, and it's particularly as I read the paperwork that Michelle sent on about what this was about, and I picked up that this was about vision and communal vision, which I tend to think of our center and our group here. And this talk goes where it goes, but that's the way I am. In any event, I would this week I've been thinking about how consciousness is created, and unfortunately, that question, it's like asking what existed before the Big Bang. We can't know. So, what can we know? We know that we are. I think, therefore, I am. But what is consciousness? I believe it is awareness, primarily awareness of three things: our thoughts, our circumstances, and how good we feel. Now, Ernest Holmes came up with a wonderful explanation for where circumstances come from. Circumstances are generated by what Holmes called the subjective mind. And the subjective mind is your subconscious. Due to the nature of the subconscious, it is chock full of surprises. The subconscious nature of subjective mind guarantees that your life has never a dull moment. Now, we tend to believe that how good or bad we feel is determined by our circumstances. Actually, how good or bad we feel can be determined by changes in our circumstances. Say you enter a contest, and in that contest, say you win, say a mansion. You get to live in a mansion. Okay. Now, that particular day is a really good day for you because it means that you have these new circumstances and you feel really good about it. But a month from then, you are used to living in a mansion, and your big problem now is who's going to clean the pool? And don't even get me started on property taxes. Okay, now changes in how good or bad we feel. Now, these result from changes in our circumstances. I'm talking about changes in how good or bad we feel that are ushered in merely by our decision to feel better. And by the way, no one has ever wanted to feel worse than they currently do. The desire to feel better is at its very core who we are, and is as basic to us as our very consciousness. That desire to feel better than we do is critical to making the physical universe game a fun game. If you are playing basketball, say, you want to collect as many successful basketball shots as you can. If you are playing Monopoly, you want to get as much Monopoly money as you possibly can. And if you are playing the physical universe game, you want to collect as much good feelings as you possibly can. That's just the way this game is played. Now, so far, I've talked about feeling good because your circumstances are improving, but there are two problems with this. Number one, the improvements only cause you to feel better when the improvements are new. After a short time, the improved circumstances just become the status quo. They become the new normal, and normal is nothing to feel good about. This means that improved circumstances will only make you feel good for a limited time. And number two, circumstances are generated by subjective mind, which is your subconscious. And let's face it, your subconscious is fickle. Yes, we in Science of Mind know how to feed positive thoughts into subjective mind, and these positive thoughts do generate good feeling changes in our lives. But nobody has ever mastered their thoughts so perfectly that nothing bad ever happens. You might spend all morning telling your mind exactly what you want to experience, and instead it gives you an experience based on something you thought of last month. And I am certain that Michelle keeps her thoughts as clean as any of us, but it's still possible to wake up feeling yucky. And we have technical terminology for what happens when negative thinking slips past us. It's even on bumper stickers. But fortunately, we're pretty good at using our thoughts to clean up the mess. So if you ask, why do bad things happen to good people? The answer is in the way subjective mind is designed. It was designed to be influenceable, but not 100% controllable, at least not in my experience. And why is that? It's because the physical universe game was not designed to be easily winnable all the time. It was designed to be interesting, and it is. Positive developments in your life are interesting. Negative developments in your life are interesting, but the challenge goes on and on and on. So, what is the best way to feel good? I believe that it is found in a method that does not tie feeling good to your circumstances. That is, feeling good for no reason. Ernest Holmes speaks of the love and the law. And he explains the law so well that I know that his concept of it and my concept of it are the same. Not so much with the love of God. He speaks in such flowery language that I never know if his concept of the love of God and my concept of the love of God are the same. I only know what it means to me. And here's what it means to me. I am convinced that I can locate and experience the love of God within myself. When I find it and concentrate on it, I become progressively more and more filled with joy, filled with peace, filled with bliss. And here's the kicker. I'm feeling better and better, and this good feeling has nothing to do with the circumstances that are going on in my life. Creating happiness in this way does a complete end run around subjective mind and its fickle nature. It puts you in control of how you feel. And how do you want to feel? It's a stupid question. You want to feel good. And when do you want to feel good? Another no-brainer. You want to feel good all the blinking time. So we've held seminars in our classes to help people learn how to feel good for no reason. And I will admit, I had no way of knowing if imparting this information was moving people or if they were just being polite. Then weeks later, Nan offered up that she still liked the process and had incorporated it into her daily practice. And Nan, I've got to say that knowing for certain that I had affected someone's life, it touched my heart. It meant the world to me. And I've been speaking today of my take on what's important in life. But you've heard a lot of this before. I'm kind of famous for it, probably infamous. But here's the point. Whether or not my take on life speaks to you, no doubt you have a concept of what is important to you. Here in our services and classes, we broach the issues that have to do with living a better life. The science of mind is all about living a better life in your estimation. Here, we have rules of confidentiality and conduct which make it safe for you to reveal your thoughts and your situation. We encourage reflection and foster an environment that allows you to look at life creatively, to try on new orientations and see how they feel. Because it is safe to be you, you will probably come away with a better way to be. And that is our vision, and we're sticking to it. And Michelle, I know you tend to like to wrap things up
Wow.
with a prayer. Are you wanting to do that, or would you like me to
Um,
go ahead and offer that
I
up?
think my voice is too fuzzy. You want to do that?
Fuzzy prayers still work, but I'm up for it. I'm up for it. And then mine may be fuzzy too, but hey, what the heck? So let us go within and simply know the truth that's always there, that the glory of life that we are living is that life always moves in the direction of better. And as we feel that oneness, as we feel our unity with what is, as we feel the singleness of the universe, I am so delighted that the universe just gets better and better and better, and our lives do that too. There are steps backwards, but they are always recovered, and we are always moving in the direction of what we want, something that you will prefer over what you had earlier. And I know this for all of us simply because it is inevitable. It is the goodness of God. I am so grateful for what we have had here today. I am grateful for Ralane because she's wonderful. I am grateful for Lissa because she is wonderful too. And everybody brings different take into what's going on here, and it just comes together and works out perfectly. Thank you, God, for what we have as a center. Thank you, God, for what we have as a community. Thank you, God, for the lives that we are living right now and the lives we are about to live as they become better and better, just because that's what life does. Thank you, God, for the wonder. Thank you, God, for the delight of what is coming, what is unfolding for us. I am so blessed. We are blessed. We are blessed collectively. I give thanks that this is so true. I release my word to the universe. And if anybody wants to, we say, and so it
And
is.
so it is. Oh, that was fabulous. Wow, I am just inspired and uplifted. Man, what a wonderful service. Thank you guys so much. What an amazing service. Um, I'll just quickly give, oh, well, Ralane, were you going to do the, I was going to give announcements, but I forgot we were going to do the,
Yeah, sure. This
here we
is
go.
this is a great time to give give back to One Heart, One Mind if you're feeling so inspired. We really appreciate so much everyone's support financially. And here is the Venmo at One Heart, One Mind. And always look for Reverend Michelle's very pretty picture. And or you can send a mail check to the address listed right there. And so we really appreciate all your givingness. And you have the little prayer, Michelle. Here it is coming up. So we can all say this to ourselves: sacred giving. Everything flows from the nature of God's good. We receive from this flow and we give from this flow. We give in gratitude and in love. We have faith in the infinite giving nature of spirit. And so it is. And I just wanted to say, I know you're coming up to announcements, so I thought I'd just say that our prayer circle is coming up this Wednesday, June. Let's see, I'm not quite sure what the date is, but it's this Wednesday at 10 o'clock. So hope to see it.
Yeah, is it this Wednesday?
What?
Is it this Wednesday?
I think it might be next week.
I'm sorry. Got my weeks mixed up.
Yeah,
Sorry.
because this Wednesday is the 29th, and
Yeah. I'm thinking too far ahead. So no, it's not
It's
this
the-
week. Sorry,
it's
guys.
the 5th. It's the 5th.
Thank you, Michelle.
Oh, sure. I only know that because I did it. I got it wrong myself.
Yeah. Well, you can see you're not alone in that.
So yeah, so we'll you know what, I think since tomorrow is Memorial Day and I'm not really feeling great, that we'll skip the prayer call tomorrow just because, but we will meet on Tuesday, and we have we're doing a reading called Imparting Bliss from Nepo's book Falling Down and Getting Up. And I'll send out an email about the prayer meeting, unless, we can all pray at home. But I know a lot of people do things on Memorial Day, and I'm kind of iffy anyway. So let's just skip the prayer call tomorrow, and we'll meet on Tuesday. Oh, let me stop share. Sorry. And then not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday is the prayer meeting, and I am going to be feeling amazing next Sunday. I'm already, I can tell, on the downside of this. Antibiotics are amazing. So anyway, thank you all for coming and for being so flexible and willing to jump right in when needed. That's what community does, isn't it? We jump in and support each other. So thank you so much for that. Let's see, Ralane, you want to do the benediction, and then I'll play the final music for us, and then we can chat. Okay.
Okay, so let's just close our eyes and just feel the gratitude and the energy of peace and truth and love and light and such great visions. I'm just so grateful for all of you that are here this morning. And I just want to especially greet Betty, and I see the lovely picture of Dan next to you, and Maureen for visiting us today, and for all of you that are here. And so what I know is that Reverend Michelle is feeling perfect, whole, and complete right now in this very moment, vibrant health. And I know that the message that was today resonates with all of you, with all the different ways to explore our own visions of our life and how we create space for the truth of who we are and create space for the truth of everyone on this planet. And how amazingly we do it in creative, wonderful ways. And so I'm so grateful for all of you and for our week ahead, and I bless you all with love and light. And I release this prayer into divine law with gratitude in my heart. And so it is.
So it is. I'm gonna send us off with one of my very, very favorite Karen Drucker songs. And it actually has video, so kind of fun. All right, here we go.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 So grateful. So very grateful. I'm grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. So grateful. So grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. So grateful. I'm so grateful. So grateful. So grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so very grateful. So blessed. So grateful. And every day I start my day by saying how I'm grateful.
So grateful. All right, I'm going to stop our recording now. Is it still on? Hang on a second. Let me change views. There we go. Couldn't find the recording.